Okay. Here we are. Once again. Oh, we are so back. Okay.
Well, this isn't good.
Greavy.
If the red is inactive, we can't keep going.
What about that big hallway? Maybe there's somewhere in there we might be able to go.
No, there's nothing there. The 5 of us had a quick look. There are plenty more hospital rooms, but nothing else.
You can actually see him too. Do you want to go? You can go. Butterscotch is also on the bed. You know what? You were here first. Have a bunch of stars.
You mean all those doors are for hospital rooms?
Yes. There are a number of individual rooms in addition to this large one.
There was a door at the end of the hallway, but it was locked.
It had one of those solar system mark things on it.
It was the Jupiter symbol.
Jupiter.
Here's my purse.
I wonder what it means.
Confusion seemed to be the consensus.
While we're asking what things mean, what's the deal with this room? I mean, I thought this was a cruise ship, but I can't imagine a cruise ship would have a hospital like this.
No one, not even Seven, appeared. No one, not even Snake, appeared ready to offer an answer until Seven unexpectedly spoke up.
Well, I figure it's probably a hospital ship. Chances are it's the Gigantic.
The Gigantic?
Girls are from Jupiter. What? No. Boys are from Jupiter because they get more stupider. Girls go to college and get more knowledge. Duh. Junpei looked at Seven, shocked both by his knowledge and the apparent identity of their prison. He was not the only one.
What is this Gigantic?
Seven nodded to Lotus and began to speak.
The Gigantic. She was a sister ship to the Titanic, built in the early 20th century. Actually, the Titanic had 2 sister ships, and they looked exactly the same. The Gigantic was said to be one of them. They intended to make her a passenger liner like the Titanic, but World War I began soon after the ship launched. The British Navy took her over and made her a hospital ship. At some point during the war, the Gigantic was damaged by a German mine in the Aegean Sea. She ran aground afterwards, so she didn't end up sunk. What happened to her after that? One theory going around is that a man named Lord Gordain bought her. Seemed like he'd been one of the few to survive the Titanic sinking. That trauma turned him into some kind of obsessive collector of all things related to the Titanic. Soon enough, the guy wanted the Titanic itself, which was impossible, of course. It's stuck at the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean. But the Gigantic wasn't. And seeing as she was identical...
So you're saying this Lord Gordain bought this ship?
Yeah, at least I think I am.
That's impossible. No way we're in some boat that's almost 100 years old.
Pipe down, just pay attention. What, that's it? Well, have you got any proof?
Proof?
Proof that this ship is really the Gigantic.
Well, this ship's got stuff that's like the Titanic and a hospital ship. So, I just figured...
Oh, for goodness. Don't tell me that's your only reason.
No, I've got more.
Like?
Well, I mean...
Seven looked around, desperately doing anything to avoid meeting Lotus's piercing stare. He scratched his head for a moment, and then gave up. Finally, he opened his mouth.
I don't know.
Lotus sighed and shook her head.
I guess your memory isn't back yet, is it?
Yeah, sorry about that.
Then, almost as if to save Seven from further embarrassment, sorry. A bell began to ring from far away.
Oh, a bell.
It sounds like the clock in the main stairway.
Junpei counted each chime carefully.
10, 11, 12. 12.
It's midnight.
Then we've still got 6 hours left, right?
Let's get going. We gotta find the missing parts for the Reds.
What do you mean, find? How on earth do you propose we do that?
We've looked everywhere in this room. But we haven't found anything.
Right.
That only leaves one place to look.
One?
Well, not just one.
Huh?
Wait. Don't tell me you mean we need to search all of the other rooms.
Well, you already checked some of them out before you came here, right?
We each checked a single room, so 5 rooms in total.
Alright then. That's 5 rooms we don't have to search. We just have to split up the rest between the 8 of us. If each of us can do 6 rooms apiece, we'll have the other 48 rooms cleared in no time.
There are 48 other rooms?
Lotus did not seem excited by the prospect. Seven fidgeted nervously before responding.
Just maybe?
After some discussion, the 8 of them decided which rooms to begin with, and in what order they would go. Junpei was chosen to search the rooms on the starboard side, moving from fore to aft.
Alright, so everyone knows which area they're searching?
Yeah.
Yes!
They also determined when they would return to report their findings. The next time the clock sounded the time. When it did, they would meet back in the large central room full of beds.
We'll all meet up when the clock goes off again. How about in that room with all the beds?
Yeah, sounds straightforward enough.
If, during their search, any one of them were to locate the missing components, they were to yell for the others.
I'll shout if I find any of the components we need.
I hope we can find them within the time limit.
If this strategy failed, they'd return to discuss their options
If we
later.
can't, then we'll just have to come up with another plan.
Right.
Then let's do this.
The details decided, they left to begin searching. Out into the hallway they went, each to the rooms they'd been assigned. However, From far away, Junpei heard the bell ring. It did so only once. It was 1 a.m.
It's 1. I better get back to the others.
He jogged through the entrance of the large hospital room to find 6 of the others already there.
Huh?
Ace, Santa, Clover, June, Seven, and Lotus. They had gathered in front of the door number 8. Or perhaps, to be accurate, they had gathered in front of the red next to the door of number 8.
What are they doing over there?
Had one of them found the missing piece?
What happened, guys?
It was June who answered him.
Jumpy, look!
She was pointing at the red. He pushed through the others until he stood in front of it. Immediately, he knew what she had done.
Vacant? Come on, guys. Who was it? I thought we were supposed to yell if we found it.
Well,
Junpei wondered why she was hesitating. The others looked as confused as June, but kept
What
their
the
mouths
hell?
shut.
What is up with you guys?
They all knew something he didn't, and Junpei wasn't about to leave things that way. Finally, Lotus frowned and spoke.
Well, that's the thing. We don't know.
You don't know.
When I got back, it was already like this. There was no one else here. That means I was the first one back, but the missing parts were already back in the red.
What? Let me see.
Junpei looked at the bottom of the red again, just to make sure. The slot that had been open on the bottom was now covered with metal.
You're right. It's in there. What about the other 2?
They're the same.
Let me take a look.
Junpei quickly examined the other 2 boxes.
It's just as you said.
Satisfied that they were also repaired, but still very confused, he returned to the others.
Alright, I just want to be sure here. Nobody has any idea what the hell happened here, right?
Correct.
None.
Ace and June nodded silently. Seven raised his hand as if to say, "Not me." And Santa just shrugged. Only Clover lowered her head and did nothing.
Wait a minute.
That was when he noticed.
Where's Snake?
Junpei swept his eyes across the room a second time, but Snake was nowhere to be seen.
Does that mean that he found them?
What do you mean, a snitch?
I've no idea. There's nothing to suggest it, but nothing to suggest he didn't either.
You think someone here might be working with
I don't suppose
Zero?
we'll know until we can ask him in person.
Well, whatever he did or didn't do, he's pretty damn late. What the hell is he up to?
Maybe he's lost.
It seems like Snake is gone.
Yeah, well, that seems likely. Dude can't see. I don't know how he gets around in the first place.
Clover raised her head.
no! That's impossible!
Suddenly, she was shouting.
Yeah, my brother's blind, but he's got really great hearing. He can get around as well as anyone who can see. So he couldn't get lost. That's impossible!
Clover had started to shake, and the knuckles of her hands had gone white. She spun around, but before she did, Junpei noticed tears welling up in her eyes.
I'm gonna go look for him!
The words were barely out of her mouth when she began
Hey,
the run.
hold on, Clover. Wait!
How can you hear a table? What do you mean? Junpei cried out to her, but he was too slow. She kept going, and before anyone else could react, she was gone.
Well, that didn't work. Damn it. What should we do now?
Well, the red is working now.
No! We're not leaving 2 people behind! We should go look for them!
Oh man, this ain't good.
For real.
Oh, yes, what an excellent idea. We just wasted a bunch of time looking for some piece of electronic junk. Now let's waste some more by looking for a couple of idiots.
Then remain here if you feel you must, but there's no time. We've only 5 hours left.
Junpei and the others nodded to one another and took off at a run. In front of the stairs that led to B deck, they decided to
Let's split up.
All right, I'll take this direction.
Then I shall look that way.
I'll be over here.
See you all later.
Soon, only 2 of them were left. Those 2 were Junpei and June, who had been a few steps behind the
All right,
others.
we should go too.
Yes, let's go! But where should we start?
Let's see.
So, what do we want to do? Here, let me pull up the map even. This is the casino. It's where we got the plane kites. Central staircase. First class cabin. It's where we played the piano. Got the bathtub and the bathroom. Or I guess that's just the toilet room. And that's the bathroom. There are 2 separate rooms here. And you got the fireplace in here. And then I'm trying to think about where the big rooms are. But I don't think I have a map of those. To suck more penis. Alright, well, it looks like it is a tie, a 50-50 tie. So if someone wants to break that tie or vote for something else, they should do so. Because right now it's between the first class cabin and the hallway with all the rooms. Let's see. Haha. The digital root of boobies is 7. Alright, so it's just the 2 of those. I'm gonna go with the first class cabin.
Oh, what about the first class cabin on B deck?
Okay, let's go, Jumpy.
Outside of the first class cabin, they found Chloe. She was standing in front of the wall. She was staring at a meaningless point on the wall, her eyes blank. Should we leave her alone? Let her think about her brother? Talk to her? What do we want to do? Butterscotch is laying over there.
Are you alright?
He did his best to sound friendly, but Clover didn't respond.
Look, I know you're really worried, but...
He could think of no words to say that didn't sound hollow and fake. Junpei hesitated. Clover was so consumed by her worry and fear that Junpei feared it would crush her. Her actions didn't surprise him. She had suddenly lost her brother, who seemed to have been very close to her.
Alone.
Her voice was thin and barely audible.
Alone. Alone. I said leave me alone!
Suddenly, she was screaming.
You're so annoying! Just go away and leave me alone! Just looking at you guys is pissing me off! Go away, okay? Just go somewhere else! Stop bothering me!
Junpei was taken aback. Such anger and hate. June's eyes had gone wide with surprise.
Why are you still here? Didn't you hear me? Huh? Fine, forget it. If you aren't gonna leave, then I'll just...
Alright, let's go, June.
Yeah.
As they did, Junpei glanced back over his shoulder to see Clover wiping her tears from her face. Clover had driven home the misery of their situation, but Junpei told himself that getting depressed would get him nowhere but depressed.
We really need to find Snake, for Clover's sake.
He did his best to push away the misery and depression and force his
So, where do you think we should go next?
You think Clover is annoying? Excuse me? Oh, well, you know what? Actually, it was a 50-50 on the last poll, so we're gonna go this way.
Hey, why don't we go back to C-Deck? We can take a look at that hallway with all the rooms.
Okay, let's get going then.
Together they ran down the stairs. You think Clover is annoying, though? Really?
Oh, it's
I
Ace.
love Clover. She's like my favorite character. Agreed. Agreed.
Hey, Snake! Where are you? Answer me if you're there!
Number 4 is Clover. Are you talking about Santa? She's grieving her brother.
Let's go.
Ah, hello there.
Hearing their footsteps, he turned to
Snake is... Well, that's obvious, isn't it? I assume you haven't found him yet?
Yeah, doesn't seem like you're having any luck either.
I really wonder where he could have gone.
Well, wherever he's disappeared to, we must find him as quickly as we can. For Clover's sake.
Right.
June's face looked kinda enraptured.
By the way, do you think Clover and Snake are really siblings?
Why would you say that?
The question seemed somehow odd to
Why?
Junpei.
Well, it's obvious, isn't it? They don't look alike at all.
Ace looked at him for a moment and then spoke. Sorry, and who did you think is the annoying character if you don't think it's Clover, because you said number 4 after that.
Yes, you know, now that you mention it, they don't. Still, there are a great many siblings who do not look like one another. It certainly isn't rare.
Junpei wasn't sure why, or even if he was seeing what he thought he was, but he could have sworn that Ace's face tightened as he spoke.
At any rate, we really must find Snake as soon as possible. The clock is ticking. We really can't afford to waste any time.
Oh, yeah.
Very well. Let's get back to the search, shall we? You can leave this area to me.
All right. Let's go, Jumpy.
At June's urging, they left. They found themselves back at the stairs, but Junpei's mind was in turmoil.
Something about that was... I'll think on it later. Like Ace said, finding Snake is our top priority.
Junpei did his best to clear
All
his
right,
mind.
where should we go next?
Okay. You don't think Lotus is cool, you just think she's hot. You don't know anything about her. We could go to the casino or the large hospital room. First one to say something picks it. Gravy. Come here. I also think she's cool. But I have reasons to think she's cool. Great. Come on. Oh, lay down. Thank you.
Let's go take a look around the casino.
Okay, let's go.
They quickened their pace and headed for B-Deck. Before they knew it, they were there. So was Lotus. She was leaning against the wall, examining her nails.
Hey, what do you think you're doing?
She glanced up at him, unimpressed.
Isn't it obvious? I'm looking for Snake.
I'm just not seeing it.
Really? Maybe you need to look harder.
I don't think that's the problem.
Oh, by the way, I've got a proposal for you two. Care to hear it?
What is it?
Well, I don't like to beat around the bush, so I'll get right to it. Why don't we team up?
Team up?
Yeah. What? You need me to explain it to you? I'm saying, why don't we go through a numbered door?
Even if we wanted to, that's impossible.
Why?
Jumpy's bracelet number is 5, mine is 6, and yours is 8.
Which gives us 1.
Our digital route would be 1. But there's no number 1 door in the large hospital room. The only doors there are 3, 7, and 8.
Then we add another person.
Huh?
Who?
What, isn't that easy? 7.
Oh, if we add 7, 5 plus 6 plus 8 plus the digital root of 26, 2 plus 6 equals 8.
Then the 4 of them could go through the number 8 door. But
Wait a minute. What about the other 4? Ace, Snake, Santa, and Clover.
Well, why don't you add them up?
One plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, and 1 plus 0. The digital root for those 4 would be 1.
That's right.
And you know the number 1 door isn't in the big hospital room, right?
Of course I know that.
No! Are you saying you'd leave them behind?
Of course not. What kind of woman do you think I am? Once we get off the ship, we could come back and rescue them, couldn't we? Then we wouldn't really be leaving them behind.
Don't try to lie to us. I don't think you do anything of the sort.
Really? Why do you think that?
You remember, don't you? We have less than 5 hours left. Even if we manage to escape, there's no way we could come back to rescue them in less than 5 hours.
Well, you never know until you try.
No, you're not thinking this through. Even if we brought 7 with us, we wouldn't be able to get off the ship. The 4 of us couldn't open door 9. It is hidden, but an exit can be found. Seek a way out. Seek a door that carries a 9.
Yeah, that's right. The digital route for the 4 of us would be 8, so we'd have to add Ace to make 9.
That's right. Unless we bring Ace too, we'll be stuck.
Lotus scratched the back of her
Oh.
ear.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Unfortunate. That's all you have to say?
She didn't sound particularly bothered by what Junpei said, nor did she seem particularly surprised.
Well, let's try and find another way, okay? A way to get out of here with all 8 of us.
That's impossible. Are you being serious? And you do know that only 5 people, at most, can go through one of the numbered doors, right? The number 9 isn't going to be an exception to that rule. Regardless, at least 3 people will get left behind.
Huh?
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
The moment he said it, Junpei felt a chill run down his spine.
Wait just a second. You're skipping over a really big detail.
Yes, what she said was true, but how Lotus could remain cavalier about so terrifying a prospect was beyond.
Is that really okay?
What are you saying what to? I might be able to explain it for you. This part. So Lotus is under the impression that only 5 people will be able to go through the number 9 door, and thus 3 people will not be able to go through the number 9 door. She's saying that at least 3 people would get left behind because they wouldn't be able to go through the door with the other 5, right? Cavalier, a gallant or a chivalrous man, especially one serving as escort to a woman of high social status, a mounted soldier knight, supporter of Charles I of England in his struggles against Parliament, a gay, sprightly military man, hence a gallant. Oh, adjective, showing arrogant or offhand disregard or dismissive, carefree, nonchalant. So he's saying he's surprised that she's acting so nonchalant about what's going on. I don't want to do math today. That's okay. I'm doing the math. That's why I can explain it. I was a class in old school D&D, but I don't understand its usage here. I'm sure the D&D class is related to being a knight, so that was probably a fighter. We shall continue.
That means 3 people will die in the end. Are you okay with that? That's just...
Lois's forehead furrowed.
Do you think I could have a moment alone? There's some things I need to think about.
Junpei and June turned and began walking away from Lotus.
That didn't turn out to be a very pleasant conversation.
Yeah.
Junpei's heart felt heavy and his steps sluggish, but he told himself pessimism would get them nowhere.
Well, regardless...
He forced himself to smile and turned to June.
Let's just focus on finding Snake for now, okay?
Yes, you're right. We can think about those other things later.
Yeah,
Junpei nodded.
all right. Where should we go next? Hey, why don't we go back to the big hospital room?
Sure, let's go.
Together they ran down the stairs.
Hey, wait. That's...
On their way to the large hospital room, Junpei and June noticed Santa standing next to the number 3 door.
Santa?
Junpei paused. Should we talk to him or should we walk away? Come on. Gravy. Junpei and June walked up to Santa.
What are you doing?
What? You can't tell? I'm checking out the red.
Why? Is there something bothering you?
What? It's not bothering you?
Huh?
The guts of this red. Why wouldn't you wonder who the hell put it back in here?
Yeah, that's true. Well, I'm curious too, but
Who do you think did it?
Santa's eyes narrowed as he looked at June. She shook her head.
I don't know.
Well, what about you, Junpei? Who do you think fixed this thing for us?
Who do we think did it? Maybe Snake? Let me take a look. Seems we are split 50-50. If someone would like to split the vote.
Well, it seems like it would have to be Snake, wouldn't it? Maybe he got back here before any of us. He found the parts somewhere, put them back, and then went through one of the numbered doors.
No, that's not possible. You have to authenticate with at least 3 people, or the red won't open the door.
Nice. Golfing went by a little quick though, eh?
There's no way a single person could get through there by themselves.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
It was a stupid mistake, and Junpei knew it. How had he had such a foolish miscalculation? And how had Santa noticed it so quickly? Perhaps he just wasn't as clever as he used to. Junpei shook his head sadly.
So, in other words, one of us is the person who fixed the red.
Santa grinned.
Bingo! We have a winner.
But if that's true, then the person who did it doesn't want the rest of us to know that they fixed it.
Yeah,
But why?
no idea. Maybe if they come clean on that, it means we'd find out something else. Something bad.
Seems like both of you are wrong.
Something bad?
Dunno. But whatever it is, it's gotta be worth hiding. Of course, it could have something to do with Snake's disappearance.
You think maybe they did something to Snake?
Yeah.
Junpei stared at Santa. There was something about him that made Junpei worry. At first, he'd assumed the other man wasn't terribly clever, but Junpei was beginning to think he would need to reevaluate that assessment. When Santa spoke again, his voice was quiet.
Look, if you trust anybody in this game, you're gonna lose. You've gotta be careful. The person you trust the most could turn out to be the one who stabs you in the back.
With that depressing suggestion, he turned and quietly walked away.
And that's that, I guess.
Junpei and June looked at one another and smiled awkwardly. Jeez. Well, I think we're finished. They looked everywhere they could think of, but Snake was nowhere to be found.
Snake hasn't been anywhere we've searched.
Lotus looked around at 6 frustrated faces and spoke.
We can't keep looking for him. Wherever he is, it's not here. We need to get moving.
Junpei couldn't disagree with what she was saying. Snake seemed to have completely disappeared. There was no point in wasting any more time. The others seemed to have similar thoughts, but stayed silent. Alright. Don't answer this poll right away. Do not answer this poll right away. I want you to think about what we should pick. Finally, 7 spoke.
We don't got a choice. Lotus is right.
One of you answered immediately. One of you immediately.
We're not gonna find Snake. There's a problem, though. We've got to figure out who's gonna go through which door.
Yes, I have a proposal.
She walked back and forth across the floor, her heels clicking against the wood. Finally, she stopped.
Why don't we decide on one person to sacrifice?
Sacrifice?
Well, perhaps that's a bit of a harsh word, but yes. You've all figured it out by now, haven't you? We can't all make it through those doors. If we split into 2 teams of 4 and 3 people respectively, then 3 people will be left behind. If we split into 2 teams of 5 and 2 people respectively, then 2 people will be left behind. But if we split into 2 groups of 3 and leave 1 person out, then only 1 person will be left behind.
Leaving behind 3 people with 2 teams of 4 and 3. Wasn't pleasant, but she was right. There wasn't any way that numbers worked out. If one group was 4, then the other group would always have a digital route that didn't match a door. When 7 spoke, his voice was strained.
Then... you're saying we gotta decide who's gonna stay behind?
Yes, we do. Given our circumstances, it's logically and morally the best solution. If the other 6 are to survive, then 1 person has to sacrifice
her?
themselves.
No, that's
Who
too
would you
cruel.
guys sacrifice?
What's so cruel about it?
To just sacrifice someone like that?
Then what's your plan? Maybe we should sacrifice 2 people instead of just 1.
That's not what I meant. We shouldn't sacrifice anyone.
I told you, that's impossible. Wake up.
Whoa, whoa. Calm down, you two.
Santa stepped between Lotus and June.
Look, what Lotus is trying to say is... you should aim to bring the greatest amount of happiness to the greatest amount of people, right?
Exactly. That's how democracy works. And for that reason, I think the only fair way to decide who will be sacrificed is through a vote. What do you think?
No! That's terrible!
I'm not asking you. Shut up. What about you, Santa?
Me? Well, I agree, I guess.
That's not democracy? What do you mean that's not democracy? Clearly that's democracy.
All right, that's one
Democracy
vote for.
is when you kill
Counting
people,
mine,
right?
that's 2. 7.
I can't say I agree with you, but we don't exactly have a choice. If we don't do something, we're all gonna die.
Huh, glad to see you get it. If I can get one more vote, then it's decided. What about you, Clover?
Clover had moved away from the group and was sitting on one of the beds. Her whole body drooped. Junpei didn't know if she'd even heard Lotus's
Hey.
proposal.
Clover.
Lotus walked over to Clover and gently laid a hand on her shoulder.
Your brother has to be behind one of the numbered doors. We've searched everywhere, but we didn't find him. Doesn't that mean he has to have gone through one of them somehow?
Clover slowly lifted
Let's
her
go
face.
look for him together, okay? If we sacrifice one person, then we can go look for him. You agree with me, right?
Okay.
Clover nodded once.
The motion carries.
Lotus spun around and walked toward Junpei.
Now, let's start a vote to...
That won't be necessary.
Ace had barely spoken for Lotus's entire speech, and everyone jumped a little. 6 pairs of eyes turned to look at him. He didn't seem to notice or even care.
I will stay. That should solve our problem, yes?
Ace, what are you saying? No, you can't do that! That won't solve anything!
Very, very manipulative. June's voice shook, and she looked around desperately for someone to agree with her. Ace simply looked at her.
June, I'm afraid you may have misunderstood me. I said I would stay, but I never said I would sacrifice myself.
Huh?
I trust you. Each and every one of you. I believe you'll come back for me.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. There's optimistic, and then there's just nuts. Those doors only go one way. You go in, you don't come out. If we go through them...
You won't be able to return.
Yeah.
True, but that will not be the case once you've escaped from the ship.
What?
Please, I beg you. Once you've escaped, come back and rescue me. Ideally, within the time limit Zero has given us.
No, that's ridiculous. There's no way we could get back in time.
Finally, Junpei could hold his tongue.
We've
no
only got
longer.
5 hours left. We don't even know where the hell we are. How on earth are we gonna find someone to come and rescue you?
Then, perhaps you would prefer to stay instead of me? Or perhaps you would be willing to leave June behind?
Ace's voice was dignified and without a hint of cruelty or malice. Junpei had no rebuttal.
You see, there's no other choice. Then I see we've come to our conclusion. Go on. Don't worry yourselves about me. Go, quickly.
Junpei stood frozen by indecision, unable to move. June bit her lip so hard that Junpei feared she would break the skin. Santa stood against a wall, calm and aloof. 7 tore his beanie from his head and turned it over anxiously in his hands. Only Clover stared at Ace with an expression June was unable to decipher. Lotus's attitude, however, was different from the others.
Good. Let's accept his kind offer, then.
She smiled, her eyes bright. Ace answered with a smile of his own.
Good. I think this is the best for me. Perhaps I'll be able to take a nap. It may be my age, but I get tired so easily these days.
As he spoke, Ace lowered himself down to the floor next to one of the beds. She's the villain? Do you think Lotus is Zero? From somewhere deep in the ship, Junpei suddenly heard the screeching of metal on metal. Or do you just mean that you think she's the real villain because of how she acts? It was almost as if the ship were screaming. Would it really hold until their time limit was up? Already D-Deck was flooded. In the sudden silence, the only sound was the sad metal wail of the ship. Unsurprisingly, it was Lotus who spoke first.
Well, what are you waiting for? We're wasting time. Why don't we hurry it up?
As if a spell had been broken, the others all began to talk at once.
You're right. We should get going. That's all we can do right now.
7.
Seriously. Honestly, I was getting kind of sick of listening to you guys talk.
You too, Santa?
I have to find my brother.
Wait, all of you. Let's just calm down and think about this. There has to be a way to get everyone out. There has to be. Right, Jumpy? Say something.
Yeah, let's think. There's gotta be another way.
His words sounded hollow and vague.
Fine! Forget about it! I'll figure it out on my own.
She spun around and ran toward Ace. He had slumped down next to the bed when June grabbed his arm.
Ace! Come on, Ace. Please stand up. You can't give up yet. We just have to sit down together and think about this. We'll figure out a way that we can all get out of here.
Then it happened. Ace fell forward. He slumped over onto the wooden floor, his body folded in half, like a boxer out
Ace!
cold. June cried and hopped to her knees beside him. She put an arm around his neck and did her best to lift him up.
What happened? Ace, say something!
She shook him frantically. His eyes fluttered open.
I'm all right.
His voice was weak and slightly slurred.
How are you all right?
This.
He held out his left arm and slowly opened his hand.
A syringe?
In it was a syringe and a small vial. The vial was empty. It had been recently emptied. A few drops clung to the sides. There was a label taped to the side of the container. It read Soparil Beta. Soparil Beta?
Soparil Beta.
Soparil.
What does this do?
Baby. Makes you see.
Did you use this?
Yes. It's just anesthetic. I'll be...
Anesthetic?
I found it earlier. While we were searching the hospital rooms. I thought it might be useful later. I didn't think I'd be using it on myself.
Why did you do this?
Didn't I tell you? I'd like to take a nap. I really am. Very tired.
Junpei knew that wasn't why he'd done it. Ace had injected himself with the anesthetic to forestall Junpei and June's attempt to bring him along. If he couldn't move, there was nothing they could do. He'd injected himself so that they would be forced to leave him
Ace!
behind.
Is there something you want to say? I just like to sleep a little. Could you keep it down?
No! Don't, Ace! Don't fall asleep!
You feel warm. So comfortable. I think I'll have a nice dream.
Ace's eyelids drooped further and further, almost as though he were dying.
Ace! Ace!
She shook his shoulder and again, but this time he didn't respond. Only the gentle rising and falling of his chest told them he was alive. Junpei was relieved to see he was, in fact, still breathing.
Let's get him up on a bed.
He lifted Ace up off the floor and laid him on the bed he'd been leaning against. When Junpei turned around, Lotus gave him a look of pity.
Well, we really don't have a choice now. We can't let his sacrifice go to waste. Right?
Like you even mean that.
You say something?
No, nothing.
It felt wrong, but he had to agree. Then suddenly Santa spoke.
Yeah, but we're not done choosing yet, are we?
Huh? What do you mean?
Well, we haven't decided who's going in what door.
Ah, yes.
Oh, you
Yes,
hate
that's true.
Lotus? Well, I'm pretty sure you were one of the people who voted before I said don't immediately vote.
Enough of this screwing around. Let's decide. You first, Lotus. Which door do you want?
I want door number 8. It's the same number as my bracelet number.
Got it. You're 8. You're next, 7. Which one do you want?
I'll take 7. I can't get along with that old lady.
What? What did you just say?
Her face distorted by rage, Lotus took a step towards 7. He threw up his hands and he made a face like a child caught with his hand in the cookie jar.
Who, me? I didn't say nothing.
Oh, you're gonna get it next time.
Why else do you think it says door 3, door 7, door 8? She shot him a glare that would have melted steel, then turned and walked off.
Alright, who's next?
Santa's gaze moved across the 3 people left. Finally, they stopped on Junpei.
Junpei, which door do you want?
At last. Junpei's mind was already made up. Of course it was. Everyone voted immediately.
I want to go through door number 3.
Nope, you can't.
Huh? Why?
Because it's impossible. If we split ourselves into 3 and 3, then we give up on going through door 3.
Why?
The bracelet numbers for the 6 of us are 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 2 combinations that can go through door 3 with 3 people. 3, 4, 5, or 6, 7, 8. That's it. Of course, 2 teams can't go through the same door.
I see. That means one team would get left behind.
That's right.
That doesn't happen if we go through door 7 or 8?
No, they're fine. We've got 3 options. Option A, have 3, 5, and 8 go through door 7, and 4, 6, 7 go through door 8. Option B, 4, 5, and 7 go through 7, and 3, 6, and 8 go through 8. Option C, 3, 6, and 7 go through 7, and 4, 5, and 8 get 8. Those are the only 3 options. That's it. At least if we want to get all 6 of us out of here.
Wait.
That was when Junpei realized. Plan A divides into 2 teams. Plan B divides into 2 teams. Plan C divides into 2 teams.
But that means
There was one thing they all
5 and 6 can never be on the same team. If we want all 6 of us to go through a door, then June and I can't go into the same one.
June and Junpei had been friends when they were kids. He trusted her more than anyone else on the ship. If he chose 7 or 8, he'd be taken away from her. Was that something he was prepared to do?
Have you mulled it over enough, or do you need more time? Anyway, that's the deal, so think it over. You've got 2 choices, 7 or 8. You can't choose 3. If you choose 3, you're gonna be leaving 3 people behind to die. So what are you gonna do? 7 or 8?
Junpei thought hard. After his thinking, his conclusion was,
Sorry, Santa, but I still want to go through door 3.
What? That's nuts! You've gotta be crazy! Why the hell are you so obsessed with that door?
I'm just...
Junpei paused. He swallowed the words he'd been about to
I'm
say.
just curious about door 3. That's all.
That doesn't explain shit!
I've got a reason. I'd be happy to explain it to you if you'll just come with me.
Ugh. With that, he began walking toward the door. Their curiosity likely getting the better of them, the others followed. A few of them looked a little suspicious, but Junpei told himself that it wouldn't matter. He kept walking and kept silent. Eventually, they arrived at the number 3 door. Junpei stopped.
I'm curious about the red. 7, would you mind authenticating for me?
Why?
Please, just do it.
He stared at Junpei for a moment, then grunted and laid his palm heavily on the scanner.
Happy?
Yeah, thanks.
The number 7 has been entered into the red.
Next is June. Please touch the red just like 7 did.
Jumpy, what are you trying to figure out?
Ah, yep. I think
Junpei thought about his answer for a
I
moment.
might have found another way out.
What?
What?
Really?
That got them excited, just as Junpei had
Now please,
intended.
June.
Oh, okay.
7 plus 6 is 13. 1 plus 4 is 1 plus 3 is 4. With those two numbers in the red, Junpei had what he wanted. He casually placed his own hand on the scanner, and a third asterisk blinked on.
All right, the only people who haven't authenticated now are Santa, Clover, and Lotus.
So, what's your point?
You don't get it. Think about it.
Huh?
What's the sum of your number and Clover's?
12.
And what's the digital root of that?
3.
Which is Santa's number. By the way, Lotus, what's the number that's currently in the red?
7 plus 6 plus 5 equals 18. It would be 9, right?
Yes, and what will the digital root be if you add 3 to that?
3. The door's number.
There you go.
Hey, wait a minute. What the hell are you up to?
I'm not up to anything. I'm just waiting.
Waiting for what?
I'm waiting for the balance to shift. Santa, or Lotus and Clover. Once one of you moves, the others won't have a choice. So I'm waiting.
Junpei laid his hand almost casually on the lever.
You son of a bitch! You tricked us!
This is what you guys picked. You guys chose to fucking screw with everyone in the group.
That stuff you were going on about is all bullshit!
Bullshit. Huh. I don't think so. Didn't I tell you I'd figured out another way to get out of here? This is it.
Why the hell would you do something like this?
Basically, we had multiple people authenticate, and so now there's 3 people left, right? And if they don't want to be left behind, one of them has to act and authenticate, or else the other 2 will be like. So if Santa authenticates, then Clover and Lotus have to stay, and vice versa. If one of them jumps, Santa's going to be the one that stays.
Jumpy.
You did this just so you could go through the same door as June. That's it?
Santa was furious. His face was red, and flecks of spit flew from his lips as he spoke. Junpei closed his eyes calmly and then opened them
So,
again.
who's it going to be? Santa, or Lotus and Clover?
Shit!
Let's go, Clover.
Huh?
Lotus leapt forward. She grabbed Clover by the sleeve and ran for Junpei in the door. Caught by surprise, Santa froze for a moment, then shot forward like a bullet from a gun. Lotus had a head start, but Santa had the advantage in size and speed. Almost immediately, he passed Lotus
no,
and
wait!
Clover. Santa did not hesitate.
Ah!
He slammed his hand down on the red.
This is insane! This isn't right!
He glared at Junpei, his chest heaving.
Well, you may be right.
Junpei's voice was cold, but not without effort.
But
He turned to the red and pulled the lever. You guys chose the most evil choice. He turned to the red and pulled the lever. With the sound of metal and metal, the door opened. It would only remain open for 9 seconds. There was no time to think.
go.
Junpei and his 3 reluctant companions jumped into the door's gaping mouth, one after another. No sooner did they enter than an all too familiar noise sounded from their left wrist. The detonators had activated. Junpei looked back only once and saw Lotus and Clover on the other side of the closing door.
No.
They stood still, stopped where they had been when Santa reached the red. The defeat and desperation on their faces tore at Junpei's heart. Then the door closed, and they were gone.
You son of a bitch, Junpei! This isn't fair!
Santa rounded on Junpei, lightning cackling in his eyes and his knuckles
Do you
white.
realize what you just did? You leave them out there, and they can't...
Shut it! That's enough!
It hadn't been Junpei that spoke, but Seven. I told you not to emote immediately, to take time for everything to happen.
We gotta find the dead or none of this is gonna matter!
The clock was ticking. The dead was their only chance at survival. Unless they could find it and deactivate their detonators, the 4 of them would be...
We got less than a minute left! No time for screwing around! Get moving!
Damn it! You and I are not done yet, bastard!
They scattered and began to scour the room. The deactivation device was nowhere to be found.
Where the hell is it?
Corridors stretched out in 3 directions, but every one was blocked off by a wall of metal. There was only one way out. One
Over
other
there!
door.
It's gotta be behind the door!
Seven ran for the door, a rusty iron thing. His large hands grabbed hold of the handle and pulled it.
Damn, it's pitch dark inside.
Can't see a thing!
Junpei stuck his head through the door and looked around the room.
No, wait!
Almost immediately, he spotted the blinking red light on the
I
wall.
found it! The dead's right over here!
He stepped into the room.
Ugh! What? The floor's slippery!
He stopped and glanced down at his feet.
Hey! What the hell are you doing?
There's something...
Get over there!
Junpei felt Seven's hand push against his back and stumbled across the room. The other 3 piled in behind him. They all felt immediately that something was wrong. Nothing that could be easily identified, only a sense that something terrible shared the room with them. But there was no time to say so.
Get to the dead!
They all started running. In the dark, it was hard to tell where the wall was. All they could see was a tiny red light blinking at them, over and over and over.
There it is!
In quick succession, they all slammed their hands against the scanner panel. Seven leaned against the wall, gulping air. As his breath began to return to normal, he glanced at his left wrist and grunted.
It stopped. It stopped.
Junpei could hear him laughing in the dark, but could barely make out the larger man's face.
I don't think I'll ever get used to doing this.
What the...
That sound of retching came from Santa's direction.
What the hell is this smell? This is vile. I'm gonna puke.
So desperate had they been in their race to the dead that no one had noticed the horrible smell that pervaded the room. It was terrible, nauseating stench, like burnt and rotten meat. Adrenaline had drowned it out, but now it rolled over Junpei in waves, forcing itself into his nose with every breath he took.
Oh, you're right. Oh, this is...
He felt his stomach clench and bile rise up in his throat.
Let's get the lights on first. There's a switch over here.
The light that spilled in from the door barely illuminated a small switch plate next to the door. Slowly, with the toll of the last few minutes apparent in his gait, Seven walked toward it. He stopped as he got close and extended his fingers towards the switch.
Okay, guys, I'm flipping it on.
There was a soft click as the lights came on. Just as the light turned on, June took in short breath in. A scream echoes from the room. Junpei's breath stopped in his throat. His heart ceased to beat. Time froze. His mind scrambled to make sense of what he saw before him.
What?
Hey.
So, who's that body? Who do you guys think that is? What was left of the body sat in a sea of blood. Chunks of flesh torn from the body sat in the blood like tiny islands in a great red sea. A vast, ragged hole had been torn in the torso, and what remained of his intestines spilled out of it like fresh spaghetti. Smaller chunks of meat had splattered against the wall and become stuck as they were dried. Globbles of yellowish fat had left trails like tiny slugs as gravity pulled them down the wall, even as they dried to it.
Looks like an explosion.
Seven's voice was low and strained.
Just like the ninth man. The detonator in his bracelet set off the bomb in his gun.
Oh god. The bone is coming out of his left arm.
It's definitely an open fracture.
It looked as though the explosion had been quite powerful. His legs were both bent in an odd and unnatural way, and his left arm had split open, exposing the painfully white bone of his ulnar. His bracelet lay next to him. It seemed to have hit the wall hard enough to have shattered the display, which lay on the ground in pieces.
The face is the worst.
Yeah, you can't even tell who it is.
Half of his head had simply collapsed. The blood coating almost made it look like raw pizza dough covered in tomato sauce. His clothes too were covered in blood. The burgundy tie, the white shirt, the jacket with the yellow piping, and the gray slacks.
But the clothes are...
They were all familiar to Junpei.
Is that... Snake?
No, the ninth man died, earlier. Santa's voice wavered as he spoke, his mouth dry.
Oh my god.
Finally, Junpei spoke.
Why did this happen?
No!
Suddenly, June was screaming, her voice broken. It was an eerie scream full of insanity, and not entirely human.
No! No! No!
She shook her head violently and grabbed fistfuls of her own hair. Junpei could hear the sound of hair
Stop!
tearing.
Calm down!
He grabbed for her wrist,
Hey!
but as he did, June leapt up and ran toward the exit.
Please! Get me out of here! You have to let me out of here!
She screamed at the door, and her fist slammed against it with a hollow sound. Junpei could see drops of blood on her knuckles.
Why are you doing these horrible things to us? What did we do?
June.
She screamed again, a desperate, mindless cry. Her fist flailed against the door.
Get me out of here! Please! Please! Just let me out!
June!
It's a good question. Why don't you think about it? Theorize some answers. Junpei couldn't watch anymore. He ran to June and wrapped his arm around her, pulling the screaming girl away from the door.
Calm down.
No! Get off of me! Let me go! Let me go!
Please, calm down.
She scrambled for a moment, her legs skittering across the floor, but her resistance didn't last long. As suddenly as her outburst had begun, the manic energy disappeared and her body went limp in Junpei's arms. June collapsed towards the floor and Junpei knelt down with her. Was she crying? A moment later, she began to sob. Her shoulders shook, and great hot tears rolled down her face like rain.
We're gonna be fine. It's gonna be alright, June. It's going to be okay, Connie.
Her name was a whisper.
I'll be here with you, okay?
She nodded once.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Jumpy.
Her trembling voice pulled at Junpei's heart. He stroked her hair gently. His face was so close to her. The scent of her hair was nostalgic.
Do you feel better?
Yes.
Honestly, Junpei's outfit's kind of snazzy. Like, I dig it with the vest and the I don't know what the word
But
I'm
I'd
looking for
like to
there.
stay here
Flannel. The flannel with the best hoodie.
for a little while at least.
Door 8 would not be as dramatic. Maybe not.
Jumpy's body is so warm.
Why did she say it like that? Several minutes passed before June's tears had dried. Junpei stood up. He bent down, put his arms under June's, and helped her to her feet. They didn't speak. Neither did Seven or Santa. The person was dead. They had died in that room in a terrible way. Junpei knew there was no way he could make himself forget. There was no way any of them could forget it, but mourning would do no good. They spread out to search the room, but each felt as if their heart was made of lead.
We better get to it.
True. But she didn't say like, oh, your body's warm, Jumpy. She just said, Jumpy's body is warm. That's just such a weird way to say it. What do you think this is? It looks like tar. It's kind of sticky. I don't think we can wipe it off. I doubt just pouring some water on it's gonna help much either. What about hot water? Hot water? If we had some really hot water, like boiling hot water, then maybe it would wash it off? Junpei reached for the broom, and as he grabbed it, he heard a soft voice from behind him.
The
It was
rabbit
June.
hutch.
Huh?
He turned around. June still looked sadly pale, but there was a
Oh,
smile on her
you
face.
just reminded me of it. The rabbit hutch, I mean.
How did I remind you of something like that?
Jumpy and the broom. You're always playing around with the broom in front of the rabbit hutch.
I was.
Don't you remember?
Junpei stared at the broom in his hand.
You mean you don't remember that summer either?
She looked very sad. He shook his head.
Of course I remember. How could I forget something like that?
Cozy.
It was terrible.
Cozy. They were in the 6th grade. Junpei and June had been assigned to take care of the classroom pets, the rabbits. Their chief duty was to clean the hutches every morning. On the final day of school before summer vacation began, Junpei overslept. He rushed to school and found June standing in front of the rabbit hutches. No sooner had Junpei arrived than June began to cry. He had no idea why until he looked behind her and into the rabbit hutch. The first thing he saw was blood. The hutch was filled with the dead bodies of the rabbits. Even after their teacher and friends came to see what the commotion was, June couldn't stop crying.
I just kept crying and crying until you came over. You held my hand, and you looked very serious, and you said, "Don't cry. I'm gonna catch the person who did this." After you told me that, I finally stopped crying.
Well, the real fun started after you quit crying. You told me we were gonna catch the killer together.
June smiled, and a little of the flush of her life returned.
Then
to
we
her
decided
cheeks.
that we'd ambush them.
Yeah, I remember.
This is my favorite track in the whole soundtrack for this game. They have a song that riffs off of this in the sequel, which is like, I think, Bluebird's Lamentation. But this was, I think, I want to say like 10 years ago is the title of the track. It's something like something years ago. I just need a moment to appreciate this soundtrack because I know it's gonna end once this cutscene's over, and it's my favorite track in this whole game. And we will get to hear it a few times, and I will do this every time because this song, it holds a lot of emotion. Just like playing it kind of is making me tear up a little bit. Its story has me gripped. I adore the story of this game. I love the story of this game and the sequels. It's balls to the walls, it's wild, but it's heartfelt. It's good. Junpei and June had decided that the murderer would likely return to finish off the rest of the animals. They would ambush the killer at night. Junpei and June hid behind the hutch at dusk and waited. It was a warm summer night. The quiet sound of crickets whispered through the air. As the sun went down, the stars began to wink at them from the sky, and June's, Akane Kuroshiki's face. That night was something June knew he would never forget as long as he lived.
But the murderer never showed up. We waited for them all summer vacation, and they never showed up.
Yeah, but the animals didn't get attacked either. I think all that work amounted to something, you know?
He felt the same way, but it was good to hear her
Although,
say
you
it.
know, if you think about it, we were probably taking on a lot more than we could handle.
What do you mean?
She looked up at him,
Oh,
confused.
come on, we were just kids. If whoever killed the rabbits had actually showed up, they probably would have had a knife or something.
I wanted to go through door 3 as well. I had to be an asshole because I told you guys to wait.
I mean, you must have been pretty worried, right?
I feel like door 3 is what you should pick on your first playthrough. Because when it comes to, like, experiencing the story of the whole game, this is one of those doors that you really have to go out of your way to go through.
I wasn't worried. Because you were there with me.
She blushed furiously.
Well, you know, no one else wanted to take care of the animals.
Clearly embarrassed, she tried desperately to change
I was the only one who asked to do it at first.
Yeah, well, boys don't really want to bother with taking care of animals, you know?
Well, yeah, but you asked to do it after I did, didn't you?
If it wasn't the rabbits, they were going to make me do something else. You know how that school was. I figured it'd be better if I was working with somebody who wasn't too much of a loudmouth, right? Somebody who wasn't going to tell on me if I felt like blowing it off.
Really? That's why you volunteered?
Yeah, it is.
He nodded quickly and much too earnestly, and then quickly looked away at something
Really?
very important.
Of course.
That hadn't been the reason, of course. He had been asked to take care of the rabbits so that he could be near June. But it had been so long ago, he couldn't bring himself to tell her how he felt back then. It would be embarrassing. He took a quick breath to clear his head and tossed the broom up, and then snatched it out of the air.
Well, we don't really have time to be walking down memory lane like this. We've got to figure out a way out of this room. Otherwise...
Yes. I'm gonna look over there.
June nodded curtly, and then turned and walked away.
I should get back to it myself. Ah! That's right. The pool of blood.
Junpei turned around and looked at the room, at Snake's dead body. Chunks of flesh and organs still lay on the
Going
floor.
on and on about old times right next to a corpse? What were we doing? Well, maybe it was because we're in this mess.
Despite such a situation, or perhaps because of it, the mind turned to the farthest thing from death that it could find. Still, Junpei couldn't help but feel a twinge of guilt at wanting so desperately to live when Snake lay dead.
I have to
before him.
survive, no matter the cost. I need to make sure she gets out too.
As he stared at the clumps of blackened flesh, all Junpei could think of was how much he wanted to live. That there's nothing in the toilet. There was, that would be gross. There might be something in the tank, you know? Let's open that shit up. I already checked all 3 toilets, you know? Nothing unusual there. Okay, well, we don't have the solution like that. It's the thermometer. Can you get it off? Good night. Get some good sleep. No, it's screwed on the wall. Huh? Looks like there's something down there in the grate. I think it's a card? Yeah, it's the blue card. Can't reach it though. It's too deep. Hey Junpei, isn't this card kinda like that red card? Yeah, it looks similar. Talk about the one we found in the toilet, right? Yeah, the red card floated, didn't it? Yeah, it did. Well, then this blue one probably floats too, right? Yeah, it might. There's a piece of paper tied to this pipe with a wire. Please do not flush the water in these pipes. Doing so may cause the drain to overflow. Water tank for the toilet. I don't know when they'll figure out everybody else thinks it's clever too. Organized crime? What is that, some kind of police slang? Huh? Probably? Huh? What'd I say? Why does he all look all sad? It's not really important right now, guys. Let's just check it out, alright? Well, he's not wasting any time. Screwdriver. Can I not flush any of these? Okay, well I have this screwdriver, so now I can take this down.
Hey, Junpei. You know why thermometers only go up to 107 degrees Fahrenheit?
Junpei answered without taking his eyes off the screw.
No, I can't say I ever thought about that.
At 107 degrees, the cells in the human body start to die, and the organs begin to shut down. The proteins in your cells start to harden. It's like when you hard-boil an egg. Even if you cool it down afterwards, it won't go back to being a raw egg. In other words, it's dead. That's why thermometers don't go past 107. There's no point.
Why had Santa brought that up?
Oh, yeah?
You continue to work at school.
But it's pretty rare for a fever to get that high. Even viruses and stuff don't usually drive the body temperature up. Of course, there are other external things that could.
Like what?
Well, let's see. Something like getting locked in a sauna, or getting thrown into an incinerator and burnt to death.
Yeah, I guess that would get a little hotter than 107 degrees Fahrenheit.
Junpei gave a short, barking laugh. A moment later, the screw fell off. Hi, bestie!
All right, I got it!
He looked up and saw Santa glaring at a blank section of wall.
Huh? What's up?
Nothing. Forget about it.
Santa spun around and walked off.
What was
away
that all
from
about?
Junpei. But as Junpei watched him go, he didn't look angry. He looked very, very sad. Looks like that's doing the trick. There goes the gauge. And now it's at the open mic. Nine, 5, 7 plus. Oh right, I need the cards. I need to flood that. What, you don't trust me? Jesus, Junpei, I said I checked them all. Okay, hold on. I'm missing something. Probably because the tank's empty. Guess you could get some water and pour it straight in there. But where am I gonna get the water? Oh, hold on. Bucket. Maybe I can use the shower here to fill the bucket with hot water. Hey, 7, could you turn on the shower? I'm gonna put the bucket under the head. Okay, sure thing. Things are going. Just solving some puzzles. This is the 3rd puzzle of the night. Alright, so I just pour the hot water into this tank. And looks like you filled it. Now you should be able to flush it, right? There's probably a handle somewhere on the tank that you can pull. You think so? Serious? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Alright, flush the hot water. Didn't we flush the water? There's no more hot water. I can't flush it now. Can we flush this one? Hello? There's definitely water there. So can I flush it? Doesn't appear now. And that consumed my bucket. Morphonium. The pipe on the right here must connect to the drain in the middle of the room. If we turn on the water here, it'll probably come through the drain. Oh, fuck. I feel like there's a piece of this puzzle that I'm missing. Okay, I'm gonna turn this off. So I'm trying to get the water that I just flushed to come out the drain. But the problem, part of the problem is that my computer is doing that thing where it's like visual novel bad and not running properly. Like, this is getting beyond ridiculous. Like, it has to be this bad on the stream. You guys have to be able to see how bad this is right now. Is OBS gonna shit the bed when I pull up the stream? Is the real question. Yeah, look at how fucking slow that frame rate is. Like, is this even a stream? Is this even a stream? Can you even hear me? Can you even see me? Like, this is fucking ridiculous. I don't understand. I just don't understand. Because it's a visual novel. There's no way we're having this level of problem every time we get an hour into streaming. Like, it bothers the fuck out of me. Because this only happens with this game too. And that doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense at all. Like, we have played much more intense games on stream, on this computer, with no issue. I was just streaming, like, this past week, and there was no issue. It just pisses me off because it doesn't make any sense. I would like to be able to coherently play this game and do this puzzle, but I can't because, like, my mouse is lagging. How is my mouse fucking lagging? This doesn't make any fucking sense. task manager doesn't help because it doesn't actually show me any of the problems. I don't know, we're gonna power through. If I can even see my cursor. Which I can't. I genuinely can't even see my cursor. How am I supposed to do anything? Yeah, this is too ridiculous. Like, this just doesn't make any sense. Like, it's so bad I can't even get to the menu to save. Like, that full on took me like 5 minutes. Of course I'm exaggerating, but like, this is ridiculous. Like, how is this even happening? I have less issues running Clair Obscure. Anyway, we're gonna call that a night. I'll have to come back and finish that puzzle next week when my computer's not doing this as much. But thank you all for being here. Have a good evening. We got a couple hours in. And we'll get to come back in the middle of a puzzle. It's always fun to solve a puzzle. Hopefully, we'll be in like the end game next stream. And then we'll be able to really get the ball rolling on everything. I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm pissed off because well, I guess it's not fully fixed, but like I turn off the game and things are getting better. But it doesn't make sense because I've never had issues playing this game before. I've never had this issue before. It's just this scenario. I'm happy we chose door 3. I'll see you maybe later this week. Hopefully sometime next week. It'll kind of depend. Bye. If I could even click the button.